In December 2024, one bullet changed everything. A quiet morning in Midtown Manhattan. A powerful CEO stepping out of his hotel for a normal investor meeting. One silenced shot, and America hasn't stopped talking about it since. The man accused of pulling the trigger is Luigi Mangione, a 26-year-old Ivy League graduate from a wealthy family. Some people call him a cold-blooded assassin. Others, millions of them, quietly or loudly call him a hero. In 2026, with two trials looming, that divide is deeper than ever. Today we're going to walk through the entire story, minute by minute, fact by fact. What really happened that morning. Who Brian Thompson was. Who Luigi Mangione was before this. What the evidence shows. And why, even now in 2026, so many Americans look at this case and feel something complicated. If you're ready for a story that's about more than just one murder, it's about broken systems, rage, privilege, and what happens when ordinary people feel completely powerless, then stay with me. This one hits different. Let's start with the man who lost his life. Brian Robert Thompson was born on July 10, 1974, in a small Iowa town called Jorrell. He grew up in a modest, hard-working family, the kind where you learn early that nothing is handed to you. In high school he was everything: valedictorian, class president, homecoming king, star athlete. Friends from those days still describe him the same way: smart, kind, the guy who made everyone around him better. He went to the University of Iowa, graduated at the top of his class with an accounting degree, and started his career at PwC, one of the biggest consulting firms in the world. In 2004 he joined UnitedHealth Group. Over the next 20 years he climbed steadily, respected, low-key, focused on the numbers. In 2021 he became CEO of UnitedHealthcare, the insurance arm that covers 49 million Americans. Outside the boardroom, Brian was a family man. He and his wife Paulette, everyone called her Paulie, met at Iowa. They had two sons. Even though reports say they were living separately in the same Minnesota neighborhood at the time of his death, friends say Brian was still deeply involved with his boys. He loved boating on the lakes, playing piano, biking, traveling, and just being present. Colleagues described him as generous and living life to the fullest. His family later said he was a loving, talented man who touched so many lives. None of that protected him on the morning of December 4, 2024. New York City. Midtown Manhattan. The Hilton Hotel on West 54th Street. UnitedHealthcare was holding its annual investor conference. Brian had flown in from Minnesota. Around 6:45 a.m. he stepped out of the hotel, walking toward the entrance where the meetings were about to begin. It was cold. People were rushing to work. Normal morning. Then it happened. A masked figure in a black jacket stepped forward. One silenced gunshot. Brian collapsed on the sidewalk. The shooter walked away calmly, no running, no panic, disappearing into the morning crowd. Shell casings left behind had three words scratched into them: delay, deny, depose. Words that instantly felt like a message. Within minutes the city was on lockdown. NYPD released grainy surveillance images, a man with a backpack, walking with purpose. The hunt was on. 5 days later, on December 9, 2024, everything changed again. Altoona, Pennsylvania, 280 miles away from New York. A McDonald's employee recognized the face from the wanted posters. Luigi Nicholas Mangione, 26 years old, was sitting alone eating. Officers approached. He was calm. No resistance. In his backpack and possession, a 3D printed silencer, a ghost gun, fake IDs with different names, a notebook filled with handwritten thoughts, and a fake New Jersey driver's license. He was arrested on the spot. Now the country had a name and a face. And almost immediately, the reaction split America in two. Let's talk about who Luigi Mangione actually was before that December morning. Born May 6, 1998, in Tucson, Maryland, to Louis and Kathleen Mangione. He grew up in a prominent Italian-American family with deep roots and real money. His grandfather Nicholas Mangione Sr. was a self-made millionaire, started from nothing, built nursing homes, real estate, country clubs, even a radio station. The family business, Lorien Health Services, is still running today. Luigi was one of more than 30 grandchildren, surrounded by success. He attended Gilman School, one of Baltimore's most elite all-boys prep schools, tuition close to $40,000 a year. In 2016 he graduated as valedictorian. His speech wasn't about himself, it was about thanking his parents for the investment in his education and praising his classmates. People who knew him then say he was brilliant, humble, athletic. soccer, wrestling, track. From there he went to the University of Pennsylvania, Ivy League. He earned both a bachelor's and master's degree in computer engineering and computer science by 2020, graduating cum laude. He co-founded a small iOS game development company while still a student. Friends described him as quiet but kind, the guy who could code anything and looked like he belonged on a magazine cover. Fit, handsome, always smiling in old photos. After college he worked in tech, data engineering. But in the years leading up to 2024, something shifted. He seemed to withdraw from the family's privileged world. Reports mentioned back pain and surgery, possible psychological struggles. He was living a quieter life. And somewhere along the way, his private writings reveal a growing rage. When police searched his belongings, they found a notebook. In it were entries prosecutors say show exactly what was going through his mind. He wrote about health insurance companies as parasites. He talked about corporate greed destroying lives. Phrases like "these parasites had it coming." He seemed to see the killing not just as personal revenge, but as a symbolic act, something that would force people to pay attention to a broken system. The silencer he carried? Authorities believe he made or modified it himself. The gun? Untraceable ghost gun. The fake IDs? Carefully prepared. This wasn't random. It was planned. Back in New York, the investigation moved fast. Fingerprints, DNA, surveillance from multiple cities, the water bottle and candy wrapper he left near the scene, all pointed to Luigi. He was extradited to New York. Pleaded not guilty to every charge. Now let's talk about where we are in 2026, because this case is still very much alive. Luigi Mangione faces charges in both state and federal court. In New York State Court is charged with second-degree murder and weapons possession. After months of hearings, the judge set the state trial for June 8, 2026. That's just a few months from now. In federal court he faces stalking charges, interstate stalking of Brian Thompson. In January 2026, a federal judge ruled that prosecutors cannot seek the death penalty. 2 serious counts were dismissed. The federal trial jury selection is set for September 8, 2026, with opening statements in October. Luigi's lawyers have argued the 2 trials create double jeopardy issues, but the courts are moving forward. He remains in custody, pleading not guilty, and continues to fight every step. But the real firestorm isn't just in the courtroom. It's online and in living rooms across America. Why do so many people, especially younger Americans, call Luigi Mangione a hero in 2026? Because the American healthcare system has left millions feeling betrayed. UnitedHealthcare, like other big insurers, has been accused for years of denying claims, delaying payments, and putting profits before patients. Stories of families losing homes because of medical bills, cancer patients denied treatment, people dying while fighting paperwork, these are real. Brian Thompson's company made billions in profit while denial rates stayed high. When the shooting happened, the internet exploded with memes. In this house, Luigi Mangione is a hero, end of story. T-shirts, #FreeLuigi hashtags, even some fundraisers, quickly taken down. Young people especially. Polls in late 2024 showed nearly 41% of 18 to 29-year-olds said the killing was acceptable or neutral. They saw it as one man striking back at a system that feels untouchable. Some compared him to Robin Hood or a modern vigilante. Others said he gave voice to the rage they feel every time a claim is denied. In 2026, with trials approaching, those feelings haven't gone away, they've only grown louder on social media. But here's the part we can't ignore. Brian Thompson was a human being. A husband. A father of 2 sons who will grow up without him. A man who came from nothing and worked his entire life. His family described the killing as senseless. No matter how angry you are at an insurance company, walking up to a father on a public street and shooting him in the back is not justice. It's murder. Luigi Mangione came from privilege most people can only dream of: elite schools, family money, every opportunity. He could have used his intelligence to fight the system legally, through advocacy, startups, politics. Instead, prosecutors say he chose violence. That choice didn't fix healthcare. It didn't lower premiums or change denial rates. It just left 2 young boys without their dad and tore another family apart. So where does that leave us in 2026? We have a man accused of premeditated murder who may spend the rest of his life in prison. We have a grieving family that will never get closure the way they deserve. And we have an entire country still screaming about a healthcare system that feels broken for too many people. The Luigi Mangione case isn't just a true crime story. It's a mirror. It shows how deep the frustration runs. How powerless regular people feel when giant corporations control life and death decisions. And how dangerous it becomes when that frustration turns into violence instead of votes, protests, or real reform. Violence is never the answer. But ignoring the pain that created this moment? That's dangerous too. If this story made you feel something, anger, sadness, confusion, that's okay. That's the point. Drop a like if you want more stories that don't shy away from the hard truths. Subscribe to Brutal File and hit the bell. We're covering the cases everyone's talking about in 2026. In the comments, tell me honestly, do you think Luigi Mangione is a hero, a villain, or something in between? And more importantly, what needs to change in American healthcare so no one ever feels this desperate again? Let's talk. No judgment. Just real conversation. Thank you for sitting with this heavy one. Hold your loved ones close. Stay safe. And I'll see you in the next video. This has been Brutal File, where we face the truth, even when it hurts.